Okay, I'm here. Y'all are crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm right here. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you, although I can't see you. You can see me. Oh my goodness. JB, you had me crack up. I'm thinking that. See, last time I think it was Amber had me come on early. I'm still here, doggone it. You know what? I've been on YouTube since 2015, I think it is. And that was the first time they pulled a video of mine. And I'm thinking, really? What did I say? I'll probably say it again and they'll probably pull it again. I don't know exactly what I said. I don't really care. But the good thing is YouTube is not the only platform that does broadcasting. So I've been looking into Gab because Gab is a Christian based platform where there's free speech. There's even I was watching a video with Mr. Torba, who owns Gab, and he was talking about he sees stuff on there that he doesn't even like, but it's free speech, right? So as long as it's not threatening someone's life or something like that. But YouTube sucks. I mean, really, it does because I've seen people come on here say all kinds of craziness as long as it's in agreement with the powers that be. They don't mind leaving that up there. But as soon as you say something that is actually the truth, then they got a problem with that. So anyway, I don't care. Okay. So I was going to talk to you guys. Now I got a mint in my mouth because I'm still having a little bit of trouble with a little congestion, not a lot. As a matter of fact, I was telling my husband today that today is the first day in since the Christmas holiday that I didn't feel sick somehow. I just have a little bit of congestion that usually seems to come on me in the evenings and early in the morning. Um, but today I did pretty good. Normally I'd be blowing my nose and filling up trash cans with tissue, but I haven't. I think I've only had to blow once or twice today during the day, and so I'm doing better. I'm doing a lot better. Anyway, 2015, I've been on here, and that is the first time they pulled a video. I couldn't believe it. Said I violated their community standards, and I'm thinking, hmm. Now I see why other platforms that come on here that are doing this for a living have to they have to self censor or they'll be kicked off, and that's their livelihood. Now, for me, YouTube can kiss it because it ain't my livelihood. I could care less. I'm on here because of you guys. You know, I like hanging out with you guys. I could care less about YouTube or Google or anybody else. So anyway, oh, did my thing say 6:30? Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it said 7 o'clock. Hmm. Anyway, I didn't mean 6:30. I meant 7 o'clock. Anyway, I'm doing a lot better. I had a few things I wanted to cover this evening. I ain't gonna censor but so much. And let me tell you what else. Because it was a live broadcast, I did not have a copy of it where I could put it up on a different platform somewhere else. Because I'm on other platforms as well, right? I'm on Gab, the Silver Crown. I'm on MeWe, the Silver Crown, and um, I don't have no problems over there. Now I don't post as much over there. Most of my posting that I do is over here. I even thought about using two computers, one to do the live broadcast and the other one to record the live broadcast in case they snatch it off of my channel. Because when I'm doing a live broadcast, it doesn't, I don't know how to save it as a video in my own file, But if I record it as a video on my computer, then it saves on my computer if I want to do that. I just don't know how to move it from here into my files or what. I'm just not that tech savvy. But anyway, okay, you guys, don't forget to do a thumbs up. So this, oh, yeah, I wanted to cover what I had done recently, and I'm still going to get into some controversial stuff. So, hey, if I disappear again, I don't know. We may never know why, but just chalk it up to I'm not saying what they want me to say. So, oh well, sucks to be them. Anyway, so if you notice, my hair looks shorter because normally, I told you guys my hair would be like, oops, my hair would be like it was down in here, right? I cut it, as you can see. I cut it. It was time for a trim. I tried to trim my hair. Um, well, I was trying to stay on top of trimming my hair every quarter or sometimes twice a year, but at least every quarter, like, a quarter of an inch or a little bit to keep control of the split ends. But because I had been sick and I just didn't think about it. I really didn't think about it. I was staying on top of the protein treatments. Um, but still, it that'll help. But if your hair is splitting, at some point you have to cut those split ends off. So I cut it. I just I cut it. I just sectioned it off after I washed it and I just cut it down. So now the thing is, if I wear it out, you know, in my dandelion thing, I call it my dandelion, it still looks the same when it's wet. Now I haven't seen it shrink up. So when it shrinks up, it'll probably look like a little afro or something. But anyway, yeah, I cut a lot off. And hi Linda. And it's not shedding nearly as bad. So that's good because I could tell that it was long, but it wasn't really healthy because I was getting a lot of hair in my comb. Excuse me. So I just went ahead and cut it. I'm still getting some, but you're going to get some, but not nearly as much as was coming off before. So that's one thing that I did. You guys don't forget to give it a thumbs up when you come on. And let's see, what else did I do? Okay, so I did a cut and trim, and there was something else. Hold on just for a second. I have found that now several videos back, several, I talked about, when you start out, you're trying to find out what works for your hair and what doesn't work for your hair. Hi, Barbara. So you end up with a lot of different products, right? And then you don't really know what works. I think we get impatient because we'll buy this or we'll look at somebody else's hair and buy that. Now, I've been natural since 2015, I think. 2015, I started transitioning. And I didn't do a big chop. I did like a medium chop. And then I just let the rest of it grow out. So I'm completely natural now. I don't have any processed hair at all. This is my natural hair. Um, Hi, Verindia. Good evening from North Carolina. Um, anyway, so you end up with a whole bunch of stuff, right? So some of the stuff that I ended up with, and you may now, some of you guys have been with me a long time. You'll remember these videos. You remember this? And this one, clearly I still have them, and they are almost full. These are this is a co-wash, a cleansing conditioner. This is a leave-in conditioner, which I hardly ever use. I forget about it. And it's sitting right there in my shower, and I just don't think about it. And I have more in my closet in town that I haven't even used yet. It's like, this is ridiculous. So I will not be buying any more of that because my hair has been doing just fine without all of those extra steps, the extra steps that we all do. And I find I just don't need to do it. Simple is better. Now, if I had uh probably very oily hair or something like that, that I would need to do wash my hair every day. Some people have to wash their hair every day. If I wash my hair every day, I won't have any hair. My hair will be so dry and so stripped till I would not have any hair. My hair would just come off. It would just come out. So I don't do that. But I have products, you guys, that it's full because I don't think to use it. I wash, I condition, I get out, I put on a leave-in um, and a penetrating oil, and that's it. I don't even hardly seal it anymore because I find that the penetrating oils are okay. So I don't know. Um, so I really don't know what to do because believe it or not, nobody around me has natural hair. I mean, they have natural hair, but they don't have afro textured hair, and they can't use it. It has oils and stuff in it that makes their hair greasy. My husband can't use it. My secretary definitely can't use it. I don't know anybody around me that can use it other than my kids, and they don't live near me. So there's that. And I'm not even sure they would use it if they could. So you might want to go through your stuff. Now, here's the thing. We'll talk about supply shortages later. But here's the thing. I'm not going to throw it away because if there comes a time where I can't find the stuff that I do use because stuff is held up sitting out on a boat somewhere in the Pacific or in the Atlantic or been shipped over somewhere else to help some other country somewhere else, and I can't find it, then I will use what I have on hand that I haven't been using. So there you go. That's what I'm going to do about that. Um, so hold on to your stuff, right? Unless it's something that's going to go bad, then I would strongly suggest that you hold on to it because I told you guys before, told you a couple of years ago, I said there's going to be some shortages coming. You can't have things shut down, locked down, businesses closed down, and there not be a problem with supply chains, right? It's just you just can't do it. It's impossible. So if you have extra stuff, don't throw it away. I mean, if you want to give it away, that's fine, but just don't say, "Oh, I don't use this anymore." Now, unless it's something that damages your hair, then that's different. You may know somebody that could use it who it might help their hair, but just consider that there are things you're not going to be able to find for a very long time, and in some cases, ever. You won't be able to find it anymore. So keep that in mind going forward, right? As we go through this interesting time that we're in right now. The other thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to move more, more so, even more so than what I am now, toward natural products. And I'm looking for companies. I'm trying to get away from the big box stores. All the stores that made billions and billions of dollars when everybody else's business was snuffed out or treated like criminals because they wanted to stay open and feed their families. Well, I'm trying to get away from them and I'm trying to be more conscious of helping these smaller businesses feed their families and stay open in their neighborhoods and stuff. So I'm leaning more toward, um, and I'm not even talking about the beauty supply stores because a lot of them are owned by foreign companies, okay, or foreign countries. You ain't got to look far to see that. A lot of them are not even owned by our own citizens. So it's not really helping us. That money is going somewhere else. And so I'm looking for more natural. excuse me, more natural products. And I'm leaning toward just, and I am doing it. When I shop at, there's a store that's about 10 miles from us, and it is the only store in the area. Well, if people stop shopping there, the whole area, it would become a food desert, right? And so I don't want that to happen. And they seem to be thriving because they are the only ones there. Their stuff is not ridiculously overpriced, but have you been to the gas pump lately? But anyway, they have to do what they have to do to stay open, and I get it. I understand that. Um, so I would rather patronize that store and a couple of other smaller stores when we're going into town. I would rather give them my money than to finance my enemy, and that's just really how I see it. So we are, myself and my husband and other people that we know are slowly unwinding ourselves out of the systems that uh, betrayed our country and betrayed us when we were in a bad place. So I don't want to give them my money anymore. I'm moving my stuff to neighborhood stores as much as possible. And even I try to do online stores. I'm trying to get away from the big A online, and if you know what I mean, Amazon, and I'm trying to get away from those places and move to direct buying from smaller stores that don't have huge chains behind them to keep them afloat and all that. I'm just going to help try to take care of the little guy because they got to feed their families. These big conglomerates that have chains all over the nation and brands all over the world, literally all over the world, some of their products, they're not hurting for anything. And so it's the common person like you and me and your neighbors and my neighbors and all that. Those of us that aren't on the $100,000 yachts and all this, us. Um, I want to try to take care of other people. We're supposed to be our brother's keeper, so that's the thing. Um, so moving forward, I'm just going to be trying to focus on more natural ways to take care of my hair. And I had told you guys that I was working on my own medications and stuff. And this is something that I said in the last video that got pulled. So let me just say it again. Maybe it'll get pulled. I don't know. Take notes because it might disappear. um, so I was using that homemade nebulizer that I told you guys about, and it did help. It does help. Um, what I found, and this is what I said the last time I came on, was, and I should have researched this. This is why I'm saying if you're planning on moving toward more natural stuff because you want to replace some pharmaceutical that you're using right now, look it up first and see what are the side effects. Um, what does it do? Because I did not do that with one of the herbs that I purchased. I have a lot of it now, and I didn't do that with this herb that I purchased. Now when I make these tinctures and stuff that I'm making with it, it might be good for the people in my household, but I find that I can't use it. And that is licorice root raises your blood pressure, and iodine can raise your blood pressure. Now, when I made a deep sleep tincture because I was coughing and hacking so much, and see, it's right around this time I'll start coughing again. um, in the evenings, I was coughing and hacking, and I didn't have fever. It's just that when I would lay down, it felt like my chest was compressed, and it would send me into spasms, and I'd start coughing. And so I looked up what to do about that. What I did not do was look up and see what each of the natural remedies that I was using in my home nebulizer thing, what does it do? Because even though medicine can be natural, it can still have side effects. It's medicine, right? So I had completely forgotten that I had sent back a whole shipment of iodine to another company that I had purchased this iodine, because I completely forgot that it raised my blood pressure. I had isolated why my pressure was going up. And when I made this stuff and I put this iodine in my nebulizer, which was a different type of iodine, I completely forgot. That's okay. Bye, Barbara. See you next time. Um, so the iodine that I have now, I'm just going to use for sterilization, for wounds and stuff like that. But I won't be putting it in the nebulizer, because when I ingest it or inhale it, it raises my blood pressure. Excuse me. So keep that in mind if you're going to use one of those things. If you're already trying to keep your pressure stable, iodine will raise it. Licorice root will also raise it. Okay, let me get a drink of water here. Tell you, this is the time of night I start coughing. Okay. I hope y'all ain't sitting there with a mask on, scared I'm gonna give you cooties or something. Anyway, so if you're gonna lean toward more natural remedies, just make sure you look them up and see. Now, I can still make a tincture that will help with sleeping if someone has a cold or flu and they're really miserable and they don't necessarily want to take NyQuil or something like that has the narcotics in it or whatever it's got in it, right? That makes you go to sleep. Then there are other natural remedies that you can do that won't raise your blood pressure. It actually has the opposite effect, and that would be like valerian root, chamomile, lavender. Those are things that actually have a calming effect on the nervous system, and which will help you to sleep better, right? So licorice root helps you sleep better too, trust me, but it raises your blood pressure. So I'm going to make another tincture, uh, probably with those three herbal things in it, and that'll be for me or for somebody else, who wants to use it in the home, in my home, that doesn't want the licorice root or whatever. So, and I'm also I haven't made any glycerides yet. That's one of the things that I said I was going to do. And I haven't done that yet because I think if you make glycerides, you should refrigerate them. Now, I have seen other people say as long as you have more glycerin, this is organic vegetable glycerin, as long as it's like a 60-40 mixture, um, 60% glycerin, 40% water, or 70%, 30% water. As long as you have more glycerin than you do water, they say it'll be okay. Eh, um, I can't imagine that the shelf life would be all that great. Um, as a matter of fact, I know it wouldn't be. I think glycerides last, um, 3 to 6 months, depending on what herbs you used. And using vinegar, apple cider vinegar. When I use apple cider vinegar, I use the one with the mother in it so you can get the full benefit of the vinegar. And that is supposed to last 6 months to a year. And then if you use the one with alcohol, 80 proof or 100 proof alcohol in it, that it will last like 10 years. So, but not everybody wants to take in the alcohol. Now, like I said before, this is medicine. You're not making a cocktail. And if you take NyQuil or some other cough syrup, whatever, just about all of them, unless they're made specifically for children, have some type of alcohol in them. So don't freak out about making your own and using alcohol, because just about everything else you take, unless it's in pill form, if it's a syrup, it has some kind of alcohol in it because it has to be preserved somehow. And if if they're not using alcohol as a preservative, then they're using some other chemical. So keep that in mind. But when you're using tinctures, you're only taking, I will show you. Let's see. This is one that I made, and I told you about this before. This is white willow bark. Okay, this literally comes from the willow tree, the bark of the tree. And this was made with 100 proof vodka. But after I made it, then I cut it with some water, okay? It's with distilled water. But when I take this, this is the equivalent of aspirin. When I take this, that's a single dose. You're not going to get drunk, people. Now, unless you have um, a sensitivity to alcohol, right? Then it's not going to affect you like that. This is a pain reliever, and it's aspirin. That's what it is, without the stomach ulcers that Bear aspirin or some other brand of aspirin will give you. So you're going to save yourself that kind of problem by using more natural things. Okay. So what else did I want to tell you guys? Um, if you watch my other channel, now I haven't been on there in about 3 weeks, but if you look at our other channel, we talk a lot on there about being aware of your surroundings and being aware of what's going on in the world. There are some people who just have cognitive dissonance. They have normalcy bias. In other words, they can look at a situation that is utterly horrible and tell you, but it's okay. Not everything is okay. And not everything is good, and not everything can bring good out of it. Some things are just plain evil. Okay. I mean, if you ain't found that out, keep living. Some things and some people are just plain evil. It's just that simple. And this is what we're dealing with now, not just in our country, but people are dealing with this all around the world. Um, my husband, just a few months ago, transitioned from his country to the United States. And I tell you, it was like just in the nick of time, because people's bank accounts were seized, their businesses were shut down. And it was all because they said, we want our children to go to school. We want our jobs back. We want to be able to live our lives and go about our day without being forced to do this or do that or do the other, or under threat of some kind of penalty. And the leader of that country gave a speech and said these people had unacceptable views, because they wanted their children back in school. They wanted to be able to go about freely. They wanted to be able to go to shop, to go to work, to mingle with their friends, to be with their family members, to bury their dead without being fined for this, or being told they have to take this medication or whatever, under duress, under threat of losing employment, and all this. And he said those were unacceptable views. And you know what we did? We put our home up there on the market. We are selling it because we don't want to give that country another dime of our money. Not another dime. They absolutely rape you with taxes. I mean, you could forget it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Gas is $8 a gallon.
$8.30.
My husband says $8.30 a gallon. Wrap your head around that one, folks. And if you think they don't want to do that here, yeah, good luck with that. Okay, because they sure want to. Um, they are trying to absolutely crash this economy because they're scrambling getting their money out. They don't care what happens to you. They don't care what happens to your family. They'll keep telling you it's all for your good. It's all for your safety. That's what they say while they're in the background putting their money offshore, buying real estate in other countries and stuff, and using hedge funds to protect themselves. You know, all the stuff that the working common person doesn't necessarily have access to. Those are the tools that they are using to make sure that they're okay and their family is okay. But they'll tell you not to do it because, you know, if you do that, then you're not a team player, or you know, it's a threat to the democracy or something like that. And we've never been a democracy, first of all, but and we aren't now either. But anyway, yeah. So they do not have empathy. They absolutely do not care what happens to you. They don't care. Okay. I don't care what they get on television and tell you. Half the time they get on television, you don't understand what they're saying anyway. They, it's just, it's ridiculous. So, and you know, I think there are some people are waking up to what they actually voted for. I told someone, you know, I've been alive through the entire career of some of these people. They've always been liars. They've always been abusive. They've always been who they are right now. And they're not going to change in their old age. So if that's what you voted for in your ignorance, just ask God to forgive you. If you did it because, you know, you're you, because you're in agreement with their policies, you just wait till it hits your wallet. Wait till it hits your family, and you'll do one or two things. You'll either eat crow and admit that you made one of the biggest mistakes you ever made in your life because you were so full of hate for the orange man, or you need mental help. That's the only way I can put it. Because I am convinced that liberalism is a mental illness. Now, um, they are a Highlander. They have said that their goal is by 2030. Not only will you not own anything, but it'll be illegal for you to own anything. And they said you will be happy. So now I don't know if that's you know, they're just surmising that you'll be happy or they're commanding you to be happy. I don't know. But that's what they said. Hi, Nina's. So, like I said, the last time I was on here, they pulled my video. First time in 7 years, they literally took the whole thing down. And then they sent me this letter. And they say, we know. This was just bizarre. They sent me this letter and they say, your video has been removed for violating our community standards. And I'm thinking, what did I do? They never give you specifics. It's just some bot or some idiot behind the screen whose opinions do not line up with whatever they're watching. And then they decide that you don't have a right to your opinion, right? So then they decide they'll take your video down. Here's a news flash. There are so many online platforms today that it doesn't matter. You hearing me, YouTube? Because if I want to get a message out, I'm going to get it out. I don't care what vehicle I use, the message will go out. Okay. So you take me down here, I'm going to pop up somewhere else. They take me down there, I'm going to pop up somewhere else. They take me down there, I'll stand on the street corner with a bullhorn. Okay, you will not shut me down. So there you go. So when I leave an address in the description box and I say, write me here or check me out there or whatever, that's because I anticipate being removed from this platform at some point. I really don't care. Um, it takes a whole lot more than that to shut me up. I'm just not one of those people that tuck tail and run. So, um, and I don't have problems with facing challenges or speaking the truth or anything like that. I don't even mind hearing opposing opinions. I want to hear them, especially from the other generations coming behind us. I like to say, why do you hold this particular belief? Right? I have my grandson-in-law is a he considers himself to be a Marcus Garvey follower. Okay. Marcus Garvey was a Marxist. Okay. Um, and I don't think these young people today, now they're in their 20s, I don't think they get it. I mean, they have been sold a bill of goods. They don't know history. If they know history at all they know is the negative side of Black history. They can't tell you what Black people accomplished what great things. They can't tell you who the first Black president was, and it wasn't Barack Obama. Okay. They can't tell you things like that. They can only tell you about all the stuff that happened in the South. They can only tell you about the Jim Crow, and they can only tell you that kind of stuff. And it keeps them emotionally hyped up so that they are literally useful idiots. And I'm not saying that trying to be condescending. I'm saying useful idiots because they don't know. They're ignorant to true history. They've been sold a bill of goods. They have been um, fed a steady diet of offense. And so now everybody, including you, owes them something and you don't even know them. Okay. So I'm just saying, um, they got a word for that. What is it? Reparations or whatever. So everybody owes them something. They ain't lived long enough to earn anything, but everybody owes them something. And they're offended over everything. And there are very manipulative uh, powers and forces at work that have been working on this for over 60 years, folks. I mean, long time, long time. And so uh, this is why we see what's happening in our schools. And here's the thing: the whole thing of the destruction of the family unit, as we understand family to be, as the way God created family. Um, you could put anybody in a room or in a house together and call it a family if you want to. God has a definition of family, and because I'm Christian, that's the definition I go with. Everybody else, okay, you a bunch of people living together in a house, okay, doing life together. But anyway, call yourself whatever you want. However, the reason why it is important to understand that our country and our principles came from our creator, they did not come from government, is because if you don't realize that, when government starts to abuse you, you won't know that you're being abused. You'll think you're just being a good citizen and you're going along because you think they have your best interests at heart. They don't. They never have. Okay. So you can look all over the world and see different countries and different nations where the people were told that they should not be concerned about protecting themselves or protecting their families or protecting their stuff, protecting their businesses, or protecting their livelihood or anything like that, because the government was going to do it for them. We're here for you. And those were the same governments that eliminated their own people by the millions. because they had no way of protecting themselves. Now let that hit you. Okay. And you think about the push that's going on to disarm people, whether it's psychologically disarm people, physically disarm people, however it is, uh, when a government does not want you to be able to express your opinion, defend yourself, protect your property, and care for your family, how much do they really care about you? Is it really a government for the people? So you think about that, okay? Now, I want you to let this soak in case some bot comes on here and decides they want to snatch this video down. I told you, you will not stand before God and say, nobody ever told me. I'm telling you right now. You better open your eyes and understand that you have a place in securing the future of your posterity, okay? Whether it's your children, your grandchildren, whatever. And listen, I get it. If you have family members that you are estranged from, um, and you feel like, I've tried to talk to them and they don't listen or whatever, you can only do what you can do, right? You can't live people's lives for them. You can't make them listen. I got people in my family that I know are just absolutely nuts. They're either nuts or they're stupid, one or the other. I don't know. Pick a struggle, whatever, whichever it is, it ain't gonna work out for them. So, because they refuse to see what is right in front of them, they're gonna try to make something wonderful out of something where there ain't nothing wonderful about it. It's just not. It's a nasty, ugly mess. And some people are just optimistic fools. I believe in looking at the truth. Somebody told me once that they had a problem of looking at life. I'll never forget it. They said, I guess I just have a problem of looking at life through rose colored glasses. And I said, well, you know what? I don't know where you got them glasses, but you need to take them back. Nothing's wrong with my eyes, and I see things the way it is. And if it's ugly, it's ugly. If it's not, it's not. But I'm not going to lie to myself about what's really going on. And I'm not going to lie to nobody else about what's really going on because I feel like, first of all, as a Christian, I'm bound to the truth. I have to speak the truth. If I'm going to speak, it's going to be the truth. It's not going to be what other people want me to say. It's not going to be what other people think I should say. It's going to be the truth, whether I want to hear it or not, whether I want to accept it or not. That's what I'm going to say. It's going to be the truth. Why? Because I'm accountable to my creator for how I live my life and what comes out of my mouth. So if you take life that seriously, then you'll do the same thing. The fact of the matter is there are a lot of people that realize now that they made a horrible mistake when they went to the ballot box. They made a horrible mistake, and it is coming back to haunt them now. And it has hurt their family. It has destroyed their business. It has, none of that was going on 4 years ago, folks. Like them or hate them, none of this. We weren't over there fighting somebody else and protecting their people and letting folks just flood into our place. I was talking to a young person the other day, and I said, they were giving me this. Now, hear me. Please don't hear what I'm not saying, okay? They were giving me this whole song and dance about we have to be compassionate. We have to allow people that are fleeing poverty and all this kind of stuff, we have to make them feel welcomed. And I said, you ain't been living long enough to even know what you're talking about right now. Because, and let me tell you why, this country has sent more missionaries to nations around the world than any other country on the face of the earth. Always has. This country has been the breadbasket of the entire world. We send food, we send missionaries, we send money. God knows we send money, 1 point something billion by the pallet loads. Okay, I ain't gonna get into that. Thank you, Barack Obama. But anyway, we send food. We do all this kind of stuff. Don't talk to me about compassion. And don't talk to me about why there shouldn't be any security around our country. Don't talk to me about that. Do you have a front door? Do you have windows? Do they have locks on them? Do you lock your door at night? When somebody rings your doorbell, do you check to see who it is? Don't talk stupid to me. Don't talk stupid to me. That's just ignorant, okay? When you take your windows out, when you take all your doors off, then you talk to me about why it's okay for everybody to come in. And it doesn't matter who it is. Don't talk stupid to me. I don't have patience for that, okay? That doesn't even make good common sense. So I better tell y'all bye now, because I'm sure they're gonna take this one down. But if they don't, I'll be surprised. But anyway, um, there's a limit to what you can do as an individual. There's a limit to what you can do, excuse me, even as a family unit, when it comes to helping other people, when it comes to serving your community. There's a limit to what you can do. You can't do everything. You can't serve every single person that has an issue. You can't feed every single person that's hungry. You can't give money to every single person that has their hand out or has a need. And you certainly can't take an entire neighborhood or country into your home. And neither can a nation. No nation can do that and survive. None. Okay. I mean, it's just common sense, folks. So there's a limit to what we can do. And, uh, you know, for the government to come out now and say, um, after all of the crime, after all of the looting, after all of the burning down of buildings, after all of the mostly peaceful protest, that went on, that savagely destroyed um, neighborhoods and stuff a couple years back and last year, the summer of love and all that. Um, After all that, now they want to say we need to fund the police. But when the other administration said it, they were racist. They were whatever. It's just, it's theater, people. It's political theater. And you need to understand that you were played. Okay? If you voted for this clown show that we're dealing with right now, you were played. The rest of us were not. It's just that simple. Because you know why? You have to be able to look past what they're saying and look at what they're actually doing. Okay. Now just think about that. They are across the water, jumping up, screaming, financing, helping some other country because somebody else is trying to come into their country. While we got over 102 nations that have breached our border, and nobody's doing nothing about that. Bringing syphilis, bringing hepatitis, bringing COVID, bringing all kinds of stuff. Ain't nobody doing nothing about that. This is where you live. So don't get distracted over the hype of what's going on over across the water where they started the thing and now they're financing the thing. Okay? It's just because this is what they've done for decades. This is what they've done. So, anyway, well, there you go. You might not see this video for long either, so I hope you paid attention. I hope you was paying attention, because I'm trying to, they're going to, anyway, I don't care. I'm going to speak the truth. And guess what? When I lay my head down, I'm going to have a clear conscience, because I told you, don't be stupid. This is why I keep telling people, don't be stupid. If you're watching mainstream media, yeah, you're being stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go to alternative media sources. Go to Brighteon. go to Gab. Go to other places and look at different news feeds, because you could turn on 12 different media outlets in this country that are not alternative media. And I guarantee you they're all saying the same thing. It's like the Muppet Show, okay? It's the Mockingbird media. They're all saying the exact same thing. Why is that? Because they're all owned by the same people and they've been told what to say to you to massage your mind, to get you to swing your thing over here so that they can mess with your emotions and get you on board with the criminal ideologies and corruption that they are doing right in front of your face. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. Um, I'm not going to my grave in silence. It ain't gonna happen. Okay. So you can consider me a trumpet and I'm gonna blow. I'm just gonna keep telling the truth because some people who were not listening before are starting to see what's going on. I've been telling people literally for 10 years. You better start preparing for hard times. I don't care. Listen, even when we had the best economy this country had seen in my lifetime, which was just 2 years ago, okay? 4 years, 3 years ago, best economy I had ever seen in my lifetime. Even then, there's a there's a biblical principle that in times of plenty you store up for times of leanness. It's the Bible, people. Okay, it's the Bible. Now, for some of you who are not Christians, I ain't mad at you. I wasn't always a Christian. Okay, you still got to eat. I don't care whether you're a Christian or not. You better go get your stuff. Have you looked at the price of food? Have you looked at the price of things that, I mean, listen, $8 for a gallon of gas up north in Canada. $8, folks. You know, one lady was saying it's costing her, you know, she has to go back and forth to work, back and forth to work. Her trip is like 45 minutes a day, one way. And she has to pay $5 a gallon. It's costing her upward of $300 a month just for gas. Now, if you're working someplace in retail and you've got to travel, maybe you live out in the country, right? And you got to travel 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get to your job. Some big box store that ain't paying you nothing, you know, minimum wage or just above minimum wage, you have become a slave. Do you understand that you're working just to go and work for someone else? You can't even pay your bills. And you going to tell me that this is better? Come on, folks. I mean, you got to be a special kind of stupid to think that being broker than you were and getting broker by the day is better. I'm sorry. Um, I didn't go to school for that one. I don't know. That's way above my pay grade. I don't understand that at all. So you look at what's going on with people saying things you like, inflation is good for you. I mean, they really think you are the class idiot. I'm serious to tell you that you being broke and having almost nothing and can't make ends meet is good. It's good for you. I mean, that was actually said at a press conference of this administration. It's good for you. Do you, I mean, what kind of madness is that? Anyway, God has been good to us. God has been good to my family. God has been good to me my whole life, even when I didn't know it. Okay. And when I started seeing uh, the things that he had done for me and what he had been doing for me, and I was too stupid to realize it, you know, it was a little embarrassing. Okay. We don't want for anything, and we're not rich people. But you know what? You have got to decide where your provision comes from. You got to decide where your protection comes from. You got to decide who your allegiance belongs to. Um, As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Okay. That's not something we have to think about. We ain't got to pray about it. We don't have to go, rub crystals and lick frogs to come up with an answer about that one. Uh, God has been good to us. God has been good to this nation. And I'm telling you, we have done some evil stuff, some wicked stuff all around the world to other nations. We have gone in, we have destroyed their countries, we've done all kinds of stuff. And God in his mercy had not allowed this country to go under. And now we're sinking. Okay? Here's the thing. God takes care of his people. You better decide which side of this fight you're on. Okay? You better decide, because there are things that are looming out there that are bigger than any of us, but God. Okay? God can deal with it. But if you're not on the right side of the issue, you're going to be swimming by yourself. And you better swim pretty fast too, because the tide's coming in. So I'm just saying, I know where my provision is. I know where my protection is. I know where my faith is. And it is not in any government ever. Never has been, not even in the last administration. My faith was not in them. My faith is in Christ. Okay? And he has never left me. He has never forsaken me. And he has never had me go without, ever. So, you know why? Because my priorities are straight. And I'm just saying, I ain't trying to get preachy. If you don't like, if you don't like what I'm saying, move on. I don't know what to tell you. Move on. I told you I'm a trumpet and I'm going to tell you the truth. And if you're not a lover of the truth, you will not embrace it when you hear it. You'll buck up against it. You'll fight it. You'll come up with some kind of an argument for why what I'm saying is not the truth, or why it doesn't fit your lifestyle, or why it doesn't fit your paradigm. I don't care. It's still the truth. Okay? Whether I like it or not, it's still the truth. It doesn't change because we have an opinion about it. It's still the truth. Truth is truth. Truth is eternal. So, okay. Oh my gosh. Anybody have anything they want to say? I ain't trying to make y'all mad. I don't care if y'all are, but my husband's over there. I don't care if you're mad at me. I'm telling you the truth because I care about you. Some of you guys, I care about you more than you care about yourself. Let me tell you something. This is a very difficult time, not just for this nation, but for nations all around the world. We are not the only ones suffering through this. We're not the only ones dealing with the shortages. We're not the only ones dealing with God-given rights being systematically stripped away. Now, let me tell you something about that. I don't believe, now, just hear me, okay? I know everybody is saying our rights are being stripped away. Our rights are being stripped away. Let me tell you something. The fact that I'm sitting here saying what I want to say tells you that my right has not been stripped away. Do you know when you lose your right? When you surrender it. That's when you lose it. When you say, okay. They say, don't say that. Okay. They say, don't go there. Okay. Yes, master. Let that hit you. That ain't got nothing to do with color, folks. That has everything to do with your mindset. I'm not a slave to anyone, and I will not be brought under the power of any. Okay. And so freedom is a state of mind. It's a state of mind. I'm going to always protect my family. You don't believe me? Try me. I'm going to always protect my family. I'm going to always eat. I'm going to always have somewhere to live. I'm going to always speak the truth. You know why? Because government didn't give me that right. I was born with that right from my creator. That's why. If the Constitution disappeared, God didn't. You better hear that. You better hear that. You better redirect your energy, your faith, and your focus to where it matters. Because kingdoms and kings will all pass away. Remember that song? But not God. He's eternal. Hook your wagon to him. Okay? Say, okay, Lord, things have gotten real bad, and I'm beginning to see how I really screwed up. Okay? Can you help a sister? Can you help a brother? Okay, he'll help you. But you better admit that you've been wrong in this thing and start being a part of the solution. Okay. So I love you guys and I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know some people dropped off because they had to go to work, walk their dog, or whatever all it was. I hope you know that I'm serious about what I'm saying. I mean what I'm saying. I believe in what I'm saying. I'm going to keep saying it. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year that the channel was changing because I felt this burden and responsibility in my heart to speak to whatever audience God gave me to speak to try to set things aright. Some people have been on the fence, not knowing what to believe, and it's because you're being polluted with the wrong type of propaganda. You're being polluted with stuff that is intentionally designed to manipulate you and to get you into a place of hopelessness and fear so that you will do whatever you're told to do, no matter what it costs you. Okay? Nobody deserves that kind of allegiance and obedience from you except God. That's it. Nobody. You have the right to say no, and you need to do that. Wake up, start living your life. The next time I come on, I may talk to you guys a little bit about, I don't know what I'm going to talk to you about. Whatever God puts on my heart, that's what I'll talk to you about. So I will be doing a live broadcast on my other channel. And sometimes my husband, a lot of times, it's our channel. And a lot of times he joins me on that channel. And we may do that tomorrow. So I don't know for sure. If we are going to do it tomorrow, then I'll put up an announcement about it. In the meantime, you can go to the top of this channel on the home page on the right hand side, or even in the description box, you'll see the title of our other channel is the Christopat's Adventure and Homestead channel. And you can go there and see what we did last, what we're doing now. I think I did an update about the chickens. I got hens gone wild at my house. I got so many eggs, it's ridiculous. I got 8 dozen eggs in my freezer. 8 dozen eggs in my freezer. 8 dozen. I don't know how many jars of eggs I have water glassed. I have a gallon of eggs that I have pickled. I am giving away eggs by the carton full, 18 cartons. You need some eggs, you need some eggs, you need some eggs. Because my hens are like, them some happy birds. But anyway, oh my God, I have 5 pounds of dehydrated eggs. I don't know what else to do. I guess I better start baking some cakes or something. But anyway, hang in there, you guys. Turn your eyes to Jesus. Okay. I know some of you might not believe in Jesus. That's okay. He believes in you. And you hit bottom hard enough, you'll start believing. Trust me. You'll start believing. And I will see you guys the next time I come on. I appreciate you being here and I appreciate your thumbs up. Please recommend this channel to your friends and to anyone that you feel needs to hear what I had to say. Sometimes people can hear the truth, but they can't hear it from you because they have a bias against you for whatever reason. Maybe they don't like the way you say things, or maybe they don't like the way you look, or maybe they've got some kind of issue with you from the past, or whatever it is. It's still the truth, and maybe they will hear it from someone else. What they can't hear from you, they can hear the same thing from somebody else. So please recommend the channel. Um, my intention is to reach as many people as I can, encourage people to take care of themselves. Get as much as you can while you can. It is a biblical principle, okay? You do your part, God will do what you can't do. But you have a responsibility to do your part. Get involved with your government. Get involved. Go to the city council meetings and see what they're talking about. What are they doing? What money are they spending? These are your tax dollars if you pay taxes. Where's the money going? What are they doing with it? Don't just let them rob you and you say nothing about it. You don't have to be a politician to know who's spending your money and what's going on with it, right? All right, you guys. God bless you. Thank you, Linda. God bless you guys. Be watchful. Use some common sense, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. And when you're preparing and you're thinking about what you can put aside for later, if you see the price of things, some things are going to get financially out of your reach because of your budget. Because just because prices are going up doesn't mean you got a raise, right? Just because prices went up didn't mean you got more on Social Security. Doesn't mean you got more on whatever. Um, it's called inflation, and nobody's gonna tell me that that's good for you. Okay. Um, you guys take care. I'll see you the next time I come on. God bless you. Have a good evening. Do the best you can with what you got. Okay. Talk to you later.